beautiful in his brown jacket. Take it away.
Thank you very much, CJ. And Tins, by the way, you do look beautiful. I think take that compliment and run with it.
Look, there's no more fun we can have than just winding up Yummy Cheeseman in the pre-show. But we're back into the game now. Global Elite are looking to take back that form from event number 1. Well, Sin City, that recency bias, they're the ones that were able to break in to that top 8 last event as well. So, you know, it's like, who can do it in the 3rd event? Who's the more consistent team?
I think something, though, that, like, we kind of wanted to avoid talking about as first shot comes from Ben, will be saved by some on the line. Yes, Sin City did get strong results. They didn't look clean while doing it. That goal right there would have been their best goal that we saw from them last event.
If there is trust, levels of trust to having a teammate, that is exactly what Bal did just there. Almost pre-jumped that pass, saw it perfectly, and that's got to be a good start there for Sin City.
I know apparently I'm not allowed to talk about Uni League form, but you know, when you look at Macquarie, a team with Zen on it, Lunar on it, as well as Baz, they like to pre-jump. That's all they do. Negative, though, no pre-jump required here, equalizes the game.
Yeah, good start there for both teams, actually. You know, we're just going to reset here nice early in the game. Great pass then. Everyone kind of jumping from Sin City, but no one making contact on the goal line.
Yeah, that was a little bit unfortunate defense right there coming from the side in orange, but I think CJ did bring up a good point that I do want to explore a little bit more. This is the final event of the season. The next sort of regional, we don't really have an exact date of when it's going to be, but it's going to be months away at this stage, and we have no idea what the landscape is going to look like then, who's going to be playing with who's going to make that surprise OCE retirement. Double touch from some, doesn't want to wait till then to make their mark.
If there's a retirement going to happen, it's not going to be some when you're pulling out goals like that. Perfect backboard read. Bal just caught a little bit too far back in defense in the goal line. Some puts that away. Nice little lead there for Global Elite. And you're right. Actually, no. Are you right? It's OCE. It's OCE. Are we going to see completely different teams? That never happens. What do you mean?
Yeah, completely different teams. At least 3 players will retire and unretire over the course of the offseason. Like, it's going to be a whole new landscape. Bal will get the equalizer, 2-all. Where is the defense?
I don't know what is going on. Just the negative, I look at that player that's really good on defense, but when you're missing reads like that, I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe negative needs a bit more of a warm-up. It's the classic first series jitters in RLCS.
Yeah, the classic first minute and a half jitters where everyone just wants to make crazy shots and no one wants to bother making saves. You know, it's like playing cricket. Everyone wants to be the batter. Nobody wants to be the fielder right now, especially when it's your last chance to make those highlight clip plays, I suppose. And for teams like these, I mean, again, their expectation might not be to win, might not be to get, you know, that top 3, but to make a deep run, to get to the top 4 would be monumental, I think, for all these players here. It could almost make the entire season worth it, especially for someone, you know, like Negative, who's going to get redemption for that before get that goal in.
Well, you're definitely talking about Negative. Yummy got to speak with Negative, and all Negative spoke about was the longevity. He wants a team that's in it for the long run. He loves the nitty-gritty, trying to find out how to best counteract a team, and, you know, really looks at individual matchups. And when you've got a team that wants to stay together, that is when you can really start to focus on that. So Negative, you know, really looking for that longevity. You never know what an OC offseason will hold, but, you know, Negative's waiting for that team that he can really stick true with.
You know what comparison I'm going to make, and I know it's going to drive Yummy crazy if he's listening? Homie. Similar approach to the game, similar sort of mindset, like, and not necessarily playstyle, but approach to the game, you know, the practice, trying to find that right team, trying to find the right playstyle for that shell, trying to turn it into a thinking man's game. That's something that I always saw with Homie, and Homie was another one of those players who, while they were playing before they moved to APAC and kind of took on the coaching role, was always in that similar spot to Negative, trying to make those runs. So I see a lot of similarities between the two, and I mean, sometimes they will pull off, you know, that deeper run, that sort of surprise upset, especially once the pace gets cooking, the style starts to click. And against a team like Sin City, where we don't really know what form to expect, I can understand why people believe Global Elite can win this one.
Yeah, well, when it comes to that playstyle you talk about, it's not holding true to this game so far because we've seen a lot of defensive errors. But Global Elite, this is that team that likes staying on defense. They like being consistent. Then they'll look for that counterattack, but that's not what we're seeing. You're right, we're seeing an offensive display, we're seeing lack of defense. So maybe Global Elite going through a few playstyle changes, considering that last event, not getting quite the placement they were looking for. But you know, Negative said it before, looking for that top 8 as a minimum.
As a minimum, and well, at the moment, looking pretty decent in this first game. I don't want to say good just yet until we can see them like hold an offensive attack that's a bit more sustained, kind of like what they're doing now. Good sort of cross up by Shu does get them out of their half, and there we go. It was very patient defense from Global Elite. They were keeping 3 players in the box for most of it, but they did flip the map. So the first adjustments, the first improvements are coming from the blue side.
You look at those adjustments, and now I'm looking for Sin City. They're the team that I'm expecting to be on that offensive end. We saw some highlight plays from Zen on that last event, and you know Zen can pull it out at any moment. Bell as well has a few good moments in him, still kind of warming up to that high-level RLCS play. So this is going to be a very good first showing for not only Bell, but to kind of see that form Zen is in.
It's not perfect just yet, though, from either side. I mean, even looking at that last approach, it looked like Shu had a chance maybe for a shot, went corner instead. Now it's going to get another chance. Caveman Ben diving safe while passing it to Zen. Great first defensive touch. Won't be able to get it past that midfield line, though. 45 seconds left. Sin City still down by a goal. They're going to need to get out of their own back half. This pressure has been phenomenal from Global Elite.
And right now, the assault from Global Elite, not allowing Sin City to break out just yet. They're continuously going at it again, really holding this midfield line. Always trying to play around that last defender. Negative tries are just there. Now, Sin City able to break out onto the offensive end. Might not be a very long sustained attack here, as some looking to head the other way.
I mean, Global Elite's doing a good job of always keeping one defender in the box right now. They're really playing conservatively on their own back half, but that's a smart idea. With 5 seconds left, that touch from Sum is going to make things very difficult for Sin City. Zen will push it forward, Ben's underneath, but Shu is above, Will down, and Global Elite take game 1.
Bit of a weird start there, I would say, from both teams, but Global Elite, that consistency that at least I like to think they maintain, I think really showed through in the last few moments. You know, once they got in the groove, once they got that lead, which is going to be crucial for Global Elites because they love playing in front, they love playing that defensive game. And now it's going to be put on Sin City. You can't let Global Elite start to get comfortable.
Yeah, something too that like really impressed me when I was kind of comparing both teams when they were on the attacking half. Sin City was constantly trying to slow the ball down. It looked like through the corner and maybe go for something more akin to a fake or a reset, something to fake out that first defender, whereas Global Elite really wasn't as afraid of that first challenge. They were more concerned with controlling that middle of the pitch and just making sure that second member was always there. And with the faster pace, they played a little bit further back, and it worked out for them. So I like Global Elite's approach a little bit more. It was more akin to their style. They kind of forced Sin City to play. It's not something I think they were as comfortable with, and the end result was a Global Elite victory. So we'll see if that does continue into our second game.
Yeah, I definitely think this is going to be more emphasis on the defensive end, I would say. We saw a few mistakes, a few really tough backboard reads that, you know, players weren't able to make that we usually see at this level, you know, very consistent at those reads. So I don't want to always chalk it up as a warm-up game because I feel like you always do that game number 1 because this is RLCS, this is the last event. You've got to be ready to go because this win here will be huge to help you get out of the lower bracket as quick as possible.
The only thing that like I didn't see was Zen, you know, getting squishy saves. After seeing so many of them on Wednesday, where were the squishy saves, Zen? You were practicing them, clearly. I want to see it.
Please, just constant. Let's stick with consistent defense first. Right? I've seen some squishy saves go all right, but this time Negative isn't gonna get that one right on target to start the game.
You know what would have stopped it? A squishy save.
No. Okay, formal.
It would have.
It is an inconsistent. We can't get away with it. All right. Look,
it's in the name. It says save in the name.
It pulls off the highlight plays sometimes. You know, it gets away with it. It makes for a good highlight.
7 in a row.
7 in a row. Okay, Zen, I'm all for this. Let's see some squishy saves moving forward.
Exactly. Yeah. Like it was. I mean, it was all he was doing, but like I don't. It's in his repertoire. That's all I want to say. Either way, though, yeah, not the start that Sin City wanted to see. As that first goal does go against them. Some going to try to do what he can across the middle of the field. Bal will be the one who pushes it back as Negative will control it. I actually think Shu is on the other side too, so that's going to be fun. The uni finals. Either way, Shu shot, Bal diving back save.
Good opportunity here to break out. That's 2 players up, but it has got a good opportunity. Gets the flip reset. No bumps off the ball by Negative. Not able to complete that one from Zen.
Not this time, Caveman Ben. Good read off of the wall. Will find Bal across the middle, but with no challenge there. Bal puts it too far forward, straight into Negative. Some outpaces Zen. It's so open. yet there's no shot. Some was too far forwards.
I thought it was a boost issue or maybe a comm issue, but you had the boost. You got to at least make an attempt at that Some. The net was as open as you're probably going to find it for the rest of the game. Sin City walking away without a goal.
It was too difficult. It was too hard a shot. I don't know what to tell you, Tids. You can't take that risk sometimes. You got to play it safe and just let the ball not roll into the open net. Very bizarre play.
So I don't know. I'm assuming there was a comm issue there, thinking that a teammate had a better angle, was pushing out of the field with them, but just those quick comms got to be on point if you want to get away with plays like that. Now Shu trying to get one upfield over to Some, looks for the double, does beat out a defender here, and both players awkward on front post. Shu making the change, or the challenge, sorry, but can't quite get away with that. Now looking to be an option upfield. The ball coming out, hold on! Caveman Ben sent to the moon.
Oh, that was so cheeky from Shu, just biding their time, waiting for the right moment, and bam, goodbye. Bal didn't see it either, couldn't react in time. 2-0 lead, Global Elite.
Nothing's better than when you go for that challenge as the first player and you can't quite get it, but you still stay active in the play. You look for moments like that. And when you get away with a formula, it's just that more rewarding. Now Some getting away with another one. Sin City, no defense to be found.
No, I mean, Bal just straight whiffed it. Zen plays a very patient game and lets Some find that touch. This is why I was nervous about SimCity, man. Yes, they had that deep run, 2 weeks ago, but at that same token, they weren't the cleanest games, Tins. They were all sloppy. We caught a few of them on stream, and it looked like they were just taking advantage of their opponent's sloppy mistakes as well, as opposed to, finding their own key opportunities. And now they're just getting exposed a little bit.
Well, sometimes that can be a play style. As you're looking for those mistakes, you're looking to not overcommit in any capacity, but that's how Global Elite like to play. They're happy being on the defensive rotation, not making too many mistakes, but hold on, we might have just found one.
And then sometimes you'll get, a cheeky touch like this from one of the veterans, reminding us, how good this, team made up of some older players can be. Zen top bin corner, back within 2. Not quite out of reach yet. Global Elite, gotta be a little bit nervous still.
And you had to place that one well. Negative just caught very awkward on the front post.
Ooh.
And Zen punishing there. Some almost finding yet another goal in this game. Couldn't quite get that flip reset. Sin City seem to have the defensive pressure for now, but that's a backflip front post. A little bit awkward. But Zen now just getting away with it.
It's all part of the plan. Made the defense miss. You lull them to the false sense of security, and then you get the beat. As Shu looking to maybe make a play across that middle of the field. Negative will be the one who challenges. Shu starts to press forward as well. Caveman Ben off the backboard will play keep away from the striker and does flip the map in the process. Sin City, they got to start getting a little bit more aggressive in looking for these goals. I expect more forward challenges in the forward third. Instead, we get, 2 commits and no one near it. Ben, fortunately, back for the semi-save, semi-clear.
We're seeing a lot of players on the front ball side rotations here, and it's making it a little bit awkward. It's making the third man wait to commit or not feeling too sure about the challenge. And sometimes that's leading into these open nets. So we'll see if maybe that's their strategy, or they can look to get a little bit cleaner in those rotations, because we're running out of time for Sin City. They have an opportunity here. It's just going to be off the side. All 3 members from Global Elite patiently waiting for this attack.
Yeah, and I mean, it was a good idea to be patient as well. Ben had a nice dish out, but this time Bal will cut the defenders, put it through, and we're back within 1.
Great opportunity there from Bal. Need that goal. You don't want to be trying last minute. Gets bumped, I think, to help get extra power into the mid. Bal has been playing second man very well, has had a lot of faith that the pass is going to come through and really overplaying, and that's what has allowed to get these beats out on the defensive end. Bal on the attack has kept Sin City alive here in game 2.
And they have a chance to equalize off this kickoff as well, already on the attacking side. All 3 players are forward right now. Zen's the one finally who starts to rotate back, but it's only to the middle of the field. Beats out the double commit, but the touch was awkward. Bal eventually gets there. Defense has recovered. Will go high, looks for the waterfall. Negative misses, Some does not.
Now on the backboard, Negative's able to get a good touch. Caveman Ben is waiting. They are happy playing in this corner, but Sin City got to get a move on. That's 2 players caught cheating upfield. Great touch there from Bal in order to keep it in play. And now the demo coming out. Might be a little bit of space here for Zen. Finds the infield pass. It is going to be a huge 50 downfield.
Still 15 seconds left, and I'm not sure that was the touch that Sin City wanted, but they make it work. Val now gets it to the backboard. Sub's going to try to clear some space. Zen's already there, has Ben across the middle. Shu wins out the race, drops it down. Zen will collect. 0-second play, ball's popped up. Negative chases, ball decides to let it fall. Caveman Ben underneath, there's the flick, there's the shot, post not in. Second chance, not there. Global Elite takes game 2.
What a flick there by Zen to keep it up high. Negative gets the first touch, and Ben off the sidewall. Gets there in time, just keeps it up. The flick is just off. They had it for balls almost in their hands, but they couldn't quite. Global Elite yet again take game number 2, and they're looking unstoppable here.
Yeah, boy, howdy, that recency bias that you were sure fighting against kind of coming in your favor right now. Global Elite looking like the stronger team in this matchup once again. 1 game away from taking Sin City down. And look, a reverse sweep in the first round, we've seen it before, but I just like a Global Elite's approach to that a little bit more. Yes, they've had a couple unforced errors on defense, but for the most part, their deeper rotations, their sitting back, playing patient, has really been stifling the Sin City side, and it should be enough to get them over and through this series.
Sin City is just playing a battle with each other, it seems. They seem to be in each other's hair a lot, and that's causing a few confusions on the field, or just forcing third man to should I challenge, should I not mentality. And I don't want to start talking too much about the future, but if they seem to win this, they might have a date with Ground Zero in the second round of the upper bracket. So definitely Global Elite, if they can take this in a 3-0, get that good momentum going into the next round to possibly verse one of the top 3 teams.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's just it, right? Like, it's not as if the winner of this series has an easy match moving forward. More likely than not, you get Ground Zero, and that's never going to be a fun task, especially it should be a Ground Zero motivated to get as deep as possible to get to that winner's final, where they will have 2 chances to qualify for Boston if they get through into that spot. So we'll see if they find it. Negative won't find the double touch, though, off the initial play.
They're needing to find space in the midfield, Sin City. They're not able to pull out some of those mechanics that we were seeming to looking for. That's a great infield pass, but well read there by Zen to stop that attempt. Trying to turn it into a quick counter attack, but can't quite just find those passes in midfield. I gotta say, the midfield dominance here from Global Elite is helping push them through.
Yeah, it has been, and well, at the moment though, no one in the midfield. In fact, all 3 members of Global Elite in the box. Negative's the first one who goes up. Sub will chase it underneath. Don't really get to the play in time. Got a little bit of help from Shu now, who nearly gets it to the backboard. I do like how when Global Elite commit, they do commit together. I mean, especially since game number 1, where there was a little bit of communication, foo bars. Now it's actually looking a lot smoother for them, although with that demo, middle of the pitch open, Zen's touch straight down the center, and it's a 1-0 Sin City lead.
If there's a way to break through the midfield, I think they might have just found a great demo, and Zen just puts that one long. No one able to get back there for Global Elite. That's a spark there for Sin City, and something you're really going to want to shut down early.
Yeah, that you will. We'll see if they're going to get their chance to, as second point does kick off. First time, really, we've actually seen Global Elite kind of behind in this one. See what Sin City can do with the lead. They're looking for more goals. Negative makes the save from behind. Shu's challenge against Zen leaves the ball up for grabs, where Sub will collect.
Good double opportunity there. Well read by Bell to be able to maintain possession on that attempt. You're right, we haven't quite seen Global Elite play from behind before. You know, they're very, very comfortable on the defensive end. We'll see. They maybe start panicking a little bit, start to force upfield a little bit too much, but that's a really good beat. Negatives waiting on the backboard. And the demo will send them a little bit of time here. Some just tries to keep it alive in the Global Elite half.
Also, I'm pretty sure it is confirmed Ground Zero is into that next round, where they will be playing against the winner of this one. Bow forces it through, gets the goal, stuffing it in, 2-0 in favor of Sin City.
Bow seems to be the striker for this Sin City roster, and definitely a player that has been around that top 24, top 16 mark for a while. Alongside Caveman Ben and Zen, if this is the time to continuously break into top 8, get a top 6, they've got a great roster around them. Can Bal help this team through in the first round?
They're certainly going to try, and so far it's been looking pretty good in terms of a turnaround here in game number 3, as Negative and Ben kind of dance with each other with the ball in between. Okay, fair enough, slowing down the pace, one way to do it, and it doesn't work out for Global Elite straight away, although now there's a chance, double commit, doesn't matter, the goal goes through.
Both teammates wanted to put that one away, and regardless, they walk away with the goal. All three members yet again found on the same side. Caveman Ben having to make a diving save, thinking it was going far side, but put well there by Global Elite. Just over half a game left and only 1 goal difference.
Sometimes when the goal is so open, teams, you just have to commit, I guess. It doesn't matter where your team is. It doesn't matter how good your communications and rotations have been. You just got to break them all down when you see a free point in front of you.
Can they keep this going? Some gets the breakaway. It is going to be sent straight back in their own half. Good early challenge there by Shu. Negative looking to pick up the case here. Has the infield pass, but no, Some caught way too far back. But that means they will be there for the save.
He'll be there for the save initially. Zen's touch was good. Negative save. A little bit better despite the demo. Global Elite's defense does hold on for now. Zen tries to cross him up, but doesn't quite sneak it in either. Ben will be the next player looking to play setup for Bao. That should have been good. Negative underneath. Somehow got the save. Ben can't see the deal, and Zen doesn't get to it in time. Defense had recovered, so they'll slow down the pace instead. Awkward challenge from Some might open the door for Ben and Bao, but the ball is pushed to the safety of the corner instead.
They are invading Global Elite's part of the field here. Now finally able to get a breakout. Really good offense there from Sin City. Not only you're not able to get a goal, but you're able to keep them suffocated in their own half for so long. And now they're looking to break out. Good pass over to Negative. Both players reading that. And it's all about the defensive end right now for Sin City.
Shu and Negative, though, getting in each other's way a little bit as well. Not sure if they wanted the pinch or the quick pass, but the defense does see through. Now Ben actually gets beaten out. Ball waterfalls down. Negative unable to catch it. Looked like Bao was going to get in the way. Regardless, Shu got past Zen, but again, the angle not quite where it needed to be. Demo makes the advantage in Global Elite's favor. Negative gets past Bao, but the ball still wound up stuck in the corner. Global Elite, they're so close to finding that shooting angle. They just can't get themselves in that right position, it seems.
The speed that they've got, that might be a shot on target. There will be Some able to get a save there. Just decides to go long. Off the ceiling is Zen, who gets a touch into the midfield, now onto the backboard. Caveman Ben has been good at those EU clears all game long and puts the pressure right back into Global Elite's corner. Now Zen trying to get something going in the mid. Can't quite. Bal has a player in the midfield. Some with the beat onto the backboard. Negative trying to get the read. Difficult, but it will be a clear by Ben.
Yeah, it was a tough one. And it feels like with a lot of these commits, you can never really tell if Global Elite's going for the ball or the bump / demo. And I don't really know if it's, you know, just because they're choosing bad angles or if they're just a little bit indecisive, but as that timer is going to hit 0, it will be Sin City most likely getting the win unless something crazy happens here. Zen, that's not where you want to put it. Shu will get underneath it. Bao does beat out Negative, but the ball stays up. Still a chance. Some versus Ben. Some wins out. Shu's outside the box. So is Negative. A shooting chance not quite denied by Zen, and it is a 2-1 series.
Good commit there by Global Elite. They had to get that final goal. Sin City, they went from offense constantly there in the first half of that game to being able to prove that they can be solid on defense. And now they're looking good. They're looking like that team we saw break into that top 8. Can they continue it going? Can Global Elite work out those adaptations to now try and maintain that first goal and maintain that lead?
We'll see. We will see. I mean, look, that lead looked shaky at best at times. Global Elite's attack, it felt like it was going to only be a matter of time before they were able to break through, especially when we started to see, you know, more of the bumps and the demos come into play. It's just, there are still those odd moments from the Global Elite side where they will double commit on the attacking half. Less so on the defensive side, but on the offensive side, they are more likely to kind of break their offensive rotation and get a little over-aggressive. So I feel as soon as they kind of calm that aspect of their game, they should be able to finish up this series. But Sin City has a pulse, they have life, and you never know when they can turn it on to that next gear.
And I know it was the last few moments of Game 3, but you saw a bit of panic on the defensive end there from Global Elite as well. Maybe, you know, not used to playing from that goal down, having to make that adaptation, but we're going to game number 4 here. Can Global Elite close it out, or will we have our first championship field?
Oh man, can you imagine starting off the day with the reverse sweep? I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I'm not even predicting it.
What have you done,
I just want to put it in people's minds, okay? I just want to leave a little something there for people to think about. That sounds pretty cool. It sounds pretty fun, doesn't it?
Oh look, I don't want to you can't be going there, right? Look, we got to go to the game at hand here. we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. Global Elite, they just have to take it one game at a time here. And Sin City, you've seen teams before. They start to think too much about maybe that reverse sweep. It starts to get too much in their head and they're not thinking about the moment. And they almost let up goals like that. But they do get the clear downfield.
Did get it for the time being. Now Shu's trying to find something through that corner. Sum's going to be the one to get there first as we cross up to the other side. Shu around the corner, tries to find a shot, but isn't able to get it.
Big clear downfield, and the pace in the midfield from Global Elite has been good all series long. Caveman Ben, though, going to be the first one up to challenge that. It does allow them to stay in offense for a little bit longer, and that's just going to be a shot from Zen. Great crossbar down.
That was fast and efficient, and this is kind of what I hinted at the end, of that last game. There's going to be moments, I feel, where this Sin City lineup, they're just too talented not to get, a flash goal out of nowhere, not to be able to commit when they see that opening. So, yeah, that's going to be a good start in Sin City, continuing with that momentum. Last time they had the lead, they never let it up. Again, just planting those seeds.
Can they keep it going? Global Elite, we're yet to see them play very well from that goal behind. They've got plenty of time, but can they start to get that move on now? Are they going to... When do you start an attack formula? If you're a goal down, when do you start going all or nothing? You got to play solid until the last few seconds, I think.
We'll see if they're going to be able to find it as Bao able to get across that midfield line, looking to put pressure on negative. It nearly falls down in the goal. Not quite there. Zen's challenge keeps it in the corner. Shu looking to follow it through, though, and we'll take it back to the other half.
Negative has a lot of space in the midfield, but he's just going to put a shot on target. I think teammates there going for a bump to try and open the net. Bal, though, does get demoed on the attempt. It does allow a midfield touch there from Zen. Good pace there by Global Elite. That's something we've seen plenty of times here in the midfield. They haven't been able to really submit themselves in that midfield just yet. Can they continue to do it? Because that's when we saw them in form. Shu playing nice and patient there, trying to bait out that Sin City into a follow-up 50. Now gets 50 in midfield. Some does get beat out by Zen, and just a midfield battle here from both teams.
As the ball gets to the backboard again, negative barely keeps it away from Bao. But the more important thing right now is the fact that Sin City really is the team kind of controlling the tempo. It feels like Global Leaders the ones kind of chasing after every touch, playing more reactive, and this could be dangerous. Zen gets 2 to commit, should be open underneath. Bao's touch, not fast enough. Diving save by Shu.
I don't know what both teammates were doing there. Both high on the backboard. They do manage just to get there into that save. Now Some just goes long. Bal has to make an attempt. Good 50, that's out in the midfield. Shu actually plays a loaded negative shot on target. I think Bal got the save there, went through the first defender.
Yeah, and it nearly goes all the way back. Caveman Ben's shot goes well awry, but still, don't know how many more chances Global Elite are going to get like that in this game. 2 minutes remaining. They've only put 4 shots on target as Bal goes solo. 2-0 lead for Sin City.
Bal has been the striker for Sin City and gets a great flip reset off the ceiling. Waits so patiently to find that angle. Crossbar down. Sin City up 2 goals.
That was such a good goal from Bal, who has really come alive, it feels like, these past couple games. That forward member put it in the work, and last time we saw Sin City with the 2-0 lead, they were able to take down that game. Global Elite letting this series slip through their fingers. Now Shu looks to challenge that middle of the pitch, can't get it too far. Negative again, this time does get it past Zen, but Ben was waiting back. Third man Ben has been the name of the game so far since game 3, and it's been working out.
Speaking of third man, we're waiting to see Global Elite. They are the defensive team, but they're letting goals like this go through. Having to wait a little bit too much on the defensive end, not quite getting the counterattacks we've seen. This might be a good opportunity. No, Zen, long clear downfield, and Bal almost gets the 50 on.
That would have been such a sick play. Would have put this game away instead. Still a pulse, albeit a light one for the Global Elite side. Still looking for their way to get back into this game, but it's been pretty rough for the team in blue. Negative will lead the charge right now, has some in the corner, back down to Shu. It's the 1-2-3 play, but it doesn't result in an accurate shot.
Seen this plenty of times. Up by 2 goals. Can Global Elite bring it back? They're just not able to get anything going. It seems like Sin City have found their number. Can they close this one out? They still have a whole game to go, but putting all the pressure right now on Sin City. Sorry, on Global Elite.
Yeah, well, I mean, they could be putting pressure on themselves as well to perform. I kind of disagreed with Yummy there on the pre-show. I don't think this team has a lot of pressure. I think they're definitely here for the moment, but we'll see what happens with 20 seconds left. Ball's going to fall down in the corner. Negative can't get that read. Instead, Shu will have to be the one putting on the accurate backcourt pass. Ben, though, has been doing so well defensively since the start of Game 3. Again, has the read. Keep away should be enough. Not enough time left for this one, Tins. We're going to go to Champions Field.
Champions Field for the first series. You love to see it. All the excitement here in the last event. Every team wanting to make their mark before the off-season, and Sin City trying to lead the charge, going for a reverse sweep in the upper bracket round 1.
You know, sometimes the biggest thinkers, Tins, are the ones who start to panic the earliest and get the most nervous because, you know, they've put in the prep, they know what they should be doing, and when it doesn't come together, things get a little weird. I wonder if that's happening on the Global Elite side because they seem a lot more hesitant and less committal than what we saw at the start of this series. We're seeing, you know, sloppier rotations, strange double commits. I'm worried for this Global Elite side right now.
I'm just trying to think what's exactly going on, because Global Elite, the one thing that they've always been is consistent, especially on that defensive end, but we're just not seeing it. We're seeing awkward rotations ball side. We're seeing double commits trying to make these saves. Seems like they're maybe having a little bit of faith issues with their teammates, but it's all on Global Elite. Can they find themselves the form, or is this just Sin City warming up? Is this just them finally getting on par with how they know they can play and they're just looking to run away with it?
We'll see when we get geared up to go. Champions Field, Game 5. Remember those seeds I planted before? I've been watering them. They're starting to grow. Chance for a reverse sweep for Sin City. Global Elite can save themselves for disasters. You don't want to start off your day by going down to that lower bracket, especially when you are one of these teams that should be on the bubble of getting a top 8 result. It is the 8th versus 9th seed, and it is Game 5 kicking off right now.
Kicking off to see who can stay in that upper bracket. It is going to be a kickoff going in favor of Global Elite, but no one wanting to take control of it. Everyone going back. Now Bell looking for the fake. Who can strike first seems to be the way that this game's going to go formal.
I don't like Global Elite playing this passive out of the gate. I mean, they're setting themselves up for demos like that. They're expecting that they can put themselves in positions against a very consistent third member in Ben, who has been the player who's been most likely to stay back. I don't know if it's the right call, but we'll see. Now we get to see what happens when they're on the attacking half, and Sum was the one leading the charge straight into 2 defenders.
When they can get this midfield pressure is when they're looking best, having a few opportunities. That's going to be a touch. All 3 members having a dive at that one. Negative looking dangerous on the attack.
So is Shu, though. Ben has to jump up for that save foul. Will challenge in the corner. Ball left alone for a little bit. Ben, first one to scoop it up, and now Negative and Shu, 2 defenders back. The first one will make the touch, passes it to the second as Shu clears it right back the other way.
Can Bell continue to be that striking factor here for Sin City? Had a few opportunities. Always seems to be that player on field, but that's an infield pass play coming out from Global Elite. Great attempt, but easily read by Sin City.
So we get to see Zen now go right over the top of one. Shu, though, underneath, gets it through the corner. Demos as well. Negative should it be an open shot, and it is. 1-0 goes to the Global Elite.
I was a bit hesitant there, Formal. I thought they might have tried too hard to get that placing, but just snipes it in, sidebar and in. Negative, showing those fundamentals of the placements.
Yeah, and it's good to see, you know, the return to form when it comes to the fundamentals. I like how they changed their play after the first 40 seconds when they were playing super passive. As soon as things got a little faster pace, Global Elite, yeah, they were there for the challenge, and now pressure right back on Sin City to respond. It could be off this attack right here as well. Negative can go anywhere they want with this ball. They go to the teammate, passing it back to the middle. Wow, was awkwardly rotating back. That's conceding a lot of ground. That's conceding a goal.
Just the 50 on the sideboard. You've got to be careful of it. Playing that outside lane on the 50 and gets punished. Sum's there to put it away, but that's a great read from Negative.
But it was a terrible read from Bal as well. I'm going to call out what it was. I'm not sure what the plan was there, Tins.
I had that player upfield. Ben was waiting on the wall, but there's no way you can really get that ball to the teammate. And just those 50s, you've got to be careful. It would have just found its way into the net. Some did get away with the goal. And now 2 goals up. Sin City, they were looking good. They had everything going in their way, and now they're having to come back from 2 goals.
We'll see if they can piece it together. They've come down from 2 games. So what is 2 more goals? We'll see. Zen had the reset, but isn't able to get a chance. Negative took it away. Bal will continue to cross up the map as Shu holds it up in the corner. Ben wanted to play a reactive, instead winds up missing. So does Bal. Here comes Shu. Do they get the 1v3? No, because they have 2 teammates to help them out. We'll ignore the first shot and praise the second. 3-0 lead.
Look, just playing a little bit too far back. That is a great pass opportunity, but who can read the... Are we calling that luck formula? Are we calling that what it is? You tried to put it away. You just got that bounce off the sidebar, and Negative, I believe, was just waiting patiently in the mid.
I'm just going to say it was a great shot from Negative and leave it at that.
Look, all right, look, I like the pass play attempts are good. Just you got to make sure that you're finding that teammate in midfield. But it doesn't matter, Formal. They're going to be happy with that 3-goal lead after not being able to get on that scoring end the last 2 games. And now Sin City, they just look deflated.
Yeah, the wind has left the sails, it seems, but you never know. One big play could bring it back. Not going to see that big play on this side of the pitch, however. Bal's going to have to do a good job to clear it. Has Zen underneath, gets some. Breaks up the double commit and gets the bump on Ben for good measure. Shu didn't want to kind of go for it. Negative's challenge was to nobody, and Zen gets the open net.
I'm sorry, I just saw one player playing underneath the ball, looks up to go make a challenge, and Negative flies in with such confidence and bumps your teammate trying to make the save.
He was nowhere near the ball. Like, that looked like an offensive bump from the other side. So you know what? I guess there's still a pulse in this game, Tins. I guess Sin City still has a chance.
I'm just hoping Global Elite passed that one for what it is. Maybe getting a little bit too comfortable in the final moments of this game, but it's not that formal. There's still a minute and a half. There's still plenty of time for shots like that to find its way in. Negative gets the save.
Yeah, you normally trust the bang man to beat out the defenders there, but unfortunately for Caveman Ben, this one didn't go in. Bal, though, had a chance. Couldn't get it past Some. Ben slows down the clear, and it looks so open, but not fast enough. Some and Shu are able to rotate back, and with the demo in the middle of the field, the ball gets flipped once again.
Now trying to get something going, but they're just too deflated. They're getting outpaced in every aspect in the midfield. Some trying to keep this one close to keep the pressure. That's a waterfall touchdown. No one there from Global Elite. They're happy just playing this wall in midfield. They know that time is winding down before they find themselves in a Game 5 victory.
Oh, Bao wanted to pre-jump that and kind of wound up out of position as a result, so another opportunity thrown asunder for Sin City before they can even find that shot. And you're right, time ticking down. They've got to make these moments count, and Global Elite, you've been saying they're a defensive team. Well, these final 30 seconds, they have to prove it.
They know what they're doing. They're banging the ball long. They're making sure they maintain boost. They keep the ball high to where Sin City can't make a miraculous mechanical display. And that's just what's stopping them. Bala has an opportunity. Rough first touch. Can't quite get back to it. 15 seconds left. And Formal, we might just have a Game 5 victor.
I think we do. With that touch right there from Shu, it should secure it. Global Elite stave off the reverse sweep, or do they? Zen shot is wide, Ben shot is in, but it comes at 0 seconds, a moment too short. Does it, and Global Elite advance.
A consolation goal right at the end to get away with that one, but it's no good. Too little, too late, and Global Elite, you know, maintain that recency bias isn't a thing. They beat the past top 8 roster. They're looking to get back in form, and that's a great start to it.
It is a fantastic start, and you know what? Global Elite, as a team, I do feel they did deserve that victory in the end. I mean, they were hot out of the gates. They were the first team to kind of settle down defensively. Games 3 and 4 did get away from them, though. We saw why Sin City can be great in their own right, but under pressure, they did fall back to what got them there initially, and that was, you know, the consistent play, the stronger rotations, picking their moments and looking good while doing it.
Global Elite, anyone versing them, I just want to say, get that first goal, all right? They look to have that struggle trying to make it back, but they did get there just in time when they got that first goal. They maintained it, but we're going to go to a quick break. We'll be back with the upper bracket round 2.